Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for the Walking Dead universe. We're here to do our weekly Q&A video for the Walking Dead franchise leading up to Daryl Dixon, The Ones Who Live, Dead City Season 2, and more. We're as well going to be talking about the potential reunion of Rick and Michonne in the new teaser for the series. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for the Walking Dead universe, and in today's video we're going to be doing our weekly Q&A video leading up to The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. We're also going to be talking about Daryl Dixon. We're going to talk about Dead City because we had a pretty major finale for that. And just an update, because I know a lot of people have been asking questions, for those that maybe, have recently joined the channel over the past, I'd say, 12 weeks since we've had Fear the Walking Dead and Dead City on. I will update you here that when The Walking Dead content is not, rolling out every week, we do still do Walking Dead videos all the time, and we do still do weekly Walking Dead Q&As. Now, a lot of people know that have been following the channel for a little bit, but for those that haven't, since Fear started and since Dead City started, figured I would update you guys and let you guys know that you can still find Walking Dead content here all the time on the channel. It's always happening, and you will always be able to find a weekly Walking Dead Q&A. That's right. So, if you want to ask any Q&A comments for next week's Q&A, just simply leave them down here, and then next week we'll continue. Doesn't really matter what show it is either, because, back in the day, it used to be like just main Walking Dead and Fear. Nowadays, we got The Ones Who Live, Dead City, Daryl Show, etc., etc. So, doesn't matter what your question is for any of these shows. Doesn't matter what show it is, whatever, really, just, go ahead and ask them down below, and next week we'll continue. We got 6 weeks as of today until the Daryl show starts, which I feel like is going to go by relatively fast. So we'll have 6 weeks of these, Walking Dead universe Q&As, and then we'll be moving into just simply Daryl show Q&As, right? So anyway, should be a lot of fun. Very excited for the return of Daryl show, the beginning of the Daryl show. And the Walking Dead universe to come back in 6 weeks. But we got 6 weeks to kind of just chill out, do some discussion videos, do some, other Walking Dead stuff, and just other content in general that I've been waiting to get to. So it's going to be cool to do that during this minor break before we get to Fear and Daryl show, which is starting up relatively soon. So anyway, first off, I want to talk about the teaser for Rick and Michonne, because I know a lot of people were asking me to give my thoughts on this, which is this shot right here of Michonne. And a lot of people are saying that this is when Michonne is going to see Rick for the first time. Now, I think it would be a little bit convenient, if you ask me, that this is like, the moment that she sees Rick, just right there in the first teaser of the show. I don't think it's going to be all that simple, to be honest. I think that's just her fighting some walkers in like a nighttime type area. Now, I know what a lot of people are saying is that, it does look very similar to where Rick is at, in that other clip where he's, potentially chopping his hand off, which we did a video about yesterday, which you can, go ahead and see that in full detail, because there is a pretty big rumor right now going around for the Rick show about, him losing a hand. But I'll tell you one thing right now, it's definitely not going to be one of those things where, they're going to put that in the teaser right away. So, no, I don't think that this right here is Michonne seeing Rick. It could be Michonne maybe finding out something about Rick, but I don't think in that moment she's going to, see Rick. No. I do think there's going to be a scenario, though, where she could see Rick at a moment where she actually can't really go up to him. I could see a moment like that where maybe like, Rick is captured by CRM, he's doing like labor work for them or whatever, and Michonne sees him struggling from a distance, but she can't go up to him, because then, the whole thing goes to hell, and the plan will go south if she does that, so it's like she can't quite go to him, but like, it's killing her that she can't do that, you know what I mean? I could see one of those type of moments, but, I mean, it's pretty obvious, them two are going to end up back together here pretty soon. It's just a matter of what episode, it's just a matter of how it's going to happen. That's the stuff that we don't know yet, but they're definitely going to, be back together within these 6 episodes. I even would venture a guess of like episode 2, episode 3, they'll probably be back together, you know what I mean? It couldn't be at the end of the pilot. Like, if they really, really wanted to hurry this up, it couldn't be at the end of the pilot, so we'll have to see, but either way, very, very excited to see what they do with that. Now, to get into some of your Q&A comments for this week, we got the first one from Tyler, who asked a Dead City question, who says, Dan, now that the Dama cut off Hershel's toe, do you think there's a chance that she cuts off Negan's ear? So, no, I don't think that we're going to see Negan's ear getting chopped off. No, I don't. I think that in terms of just that whole kind of thing, that whole kind of scenario, I think that Dama is going to really try to test Negan, you know what I mean? I don't think she fully trusts Negan. That's why she even said, she was like, who knows? Maybe you're not the guy that we've been waiting for. Maybe you've changed, in all that time. And I love it because Negan's just like, well, maybe you're right. Maybe I have. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, like we'll have to see, one of those type of things. So it's going to be interesting to see their dynamic. But no, I don't think she's going to take Negan's ear off. No, I don't see that happening. Next one comes from Donnie, who says that, Dan, do you think that there is a potential, based off of the way they ended Dead City Season 1, that Hershel might actually be a bit of a danger towards Maggie? So you're saying basically that you think that maybe Hershel could be like an inside threat in Season 2, and maybe Dama has brainwashed him, quote unquote. Now, that would be a very interesting twist of events right there. That would be a very, very interesting moment if they did that. Now, obviously she took his toe off, right? We know that. But it does sound weird when he talks to Maggie. I'll actually hand it to you, where he's like, I felt safer back there with the Dama than I do with you right now. You know what I mean? That definitely could mean something. I don't know if it does or not, but that could definitely mean something. But I still feel like the viewers are just being played with right now. Us viewers are being played with right now. I think that, Hershel will still be nice. I just think that he's upset that Maggie is focusing all this time on Negan, to be honest. I don't think he's going to, turn evil or turn to into a villain or anything like that. I know a lot of people do guess that because in the comic books, Hershel was a, spoiled brat, and he was kind of a moron in that final issue of the comics. Anybody that, has read the comics, you know what I'm talking about. So a lot of people think that they're going to play an angle of that with, TV Hershel in Dead City, which, as much as I could see it happening, I just don't think they're going to turn Glenn's son into an evil moron. I don't know that they would really flesh that out, to be honest. I just don't see them doing it. I think that it's more so going to be one of those things where it's like, he's upset about what Maggie's doing. He might, give Maggie a bit of a nudge of like, look, you take care of this Negan stuff right now. But I don't think that he's going to go back with the Dama. I just don't see that. I don't think he's been brainwashed, quote unquote. I just think that he's a little angry right now. That's all I think it is. And I think he's going to reveal to Maggie what happened to his toe. Obviously, I think he's going to find out here pretty soon. And, Maggie's going to, find out here roughly soon, and it's all going to go to hell, right? So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But no, I don't think Maggie has to, like, worry about Hershel, like, being a problem or anything like that. No, I don't think that at all. The next one comes from Paul, who says that, Dan, I'm really starting to think that the Walking Dead Rick and Michonne series is being, kind of messed with a little bit. I think that in 2023, this fall, they might actually find the time to air the Rick and Michonne series after the Daryl Dixon series and Fear the Walking Dead. Do you think that's possible, Dan, or do you think we're waiting until 2024? Well, your answer is kind of on a teaser now. They have confirmed it's 2024 that the Ones Who Live series releases, which this is what I'm predicting, to be honest, guys, because I know a lot of people were kind of worried about this, is that it's like, oh my god, 2024, we're gonna have to wait until the fall of next year, aren't we? And that's not at all what I think they're going to do. I think, honestly, guys, and this might sound a little bit early, but I think that the reason why they wrapped up filming, and this is what Paul mentions too, is that they wrapped up filming months ago now, early this year, you know what I mean? But I think what they wanted to do is that they wanted to let the Daryl show be its own thing, and I think they wanted to let Fear the Walking Dead, in particular Fear the Walking Dead, have the spotlight this fall. And I think that's exactly what they're doing. I think that it's honestly, and I hate to say it, guys, because I know a lot of people do not like Fear, myself included, but unfortunately, I think that Fear the Walking Dead is what pushed the Rick and Michonne series. I do. I really do. Because I think that they would have aired it this year. They filmed it perfectly in time this spring to air that in the fall. They absolutely did. But I think the reason why they're not doing it is because they know that nobody will watch Fear the Walking Dead, and they want to get those viewers for the final episodes of the series. They want to get those views for, Troy Otto's return. They want to get those views for the, the Madison stuff, you know what I mean? And if Rick is back during the time that Fear the Walking Dead is here, nobody would watch it, you know what I mean? Like, I would, obviously, but would I wait until after I was done the Rick show to watch it? Yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely wait. So, it's just a marketing thing. I think, honestly, it's just a marketing decision, and to be honest, I don't think it's going to impact when we get the Rick show, because I honestly think, guys, that the second Fear the Walking Dead is over in the fall, I think they're straight up going to tell us that the next show is Rick and Michonne. I think they're going to tell us that The Ones Who Live is coming out in February. I do. I think that Rick and Michonne is going to be a February type series. It's a love story from what we've heard. It's a major series with Rick and Michonne, and February is actually when they started filming this Rick and Michonne series last year, like this past year right here, right? So it would make sense that next year, 2024, in February, they could air Rick and Michonne. I don't know if February 14th falls on a Sunday, but I could see it. You know what I mean? Like around a Valentine's Day type of release for this show. I honestly really, really could see it. Especially if they really rushed the story out and like Rick and Michonne find each other at the end of the pilot or something. Yeah, they're going to air that around, Valentine's Day. That's exactly what I think they're going to do. I think the plan right now is that they're going to do Daryl's show in September, Fear in October, holiday break, obviously. When we come back in February, we're going to have the Rick and Michonne series. And then in April, I think we're going to have season 2 of Daryl Dixon. And I think in the fall of next year is when they're going to try it. And it all depends on the writer's strike, keep in mind. But I think next fall, they're going to try their damnness to get Dead City season 2 out. I do. That's exactly what I think next year looks like for Walking Dead universe. And then if they want to throw something else in, like maybe more Tales of the Walking Dead, that new series they're advertising, they might do that too. But who really gives a frig? We're getting Rick Grimes next year. I really don't give a frig about Tales, to be honest. But yeah, that's overall what I think they're doing. But no, I don't think it's going to be at the end of this year, guys. I really don't. I think it's going to be Daryl's show, Fear the Walking Dead, and then that's a wrap for 2023 for Walking Dead stuff, right? So, which I'm fine with. You know what I mean? I'm good with that. I think that's absolutely fine. Because 2024 is going to be a major year for Walking Dead with the return of Rick Grimes. I mean, yeah, and it's not like we're not getting nothing this year. Like we're still getting a Daryl show, and we're getting Troy frickin' Otto's return this fall. You know what I mean? Which is one of my favorite characters of the Walking Dead universe, right? As dumb as it is that he's resurrected, I'm still glad we're getting him this year. So, in a roundabout way, for me to answer your question, no, I don't think we're getting the Rick show this year. It'll be in 2024. Probably early 2024, but that's what I'm assuming. Next one comes from Game, who says that, Dan, do you think they're going to keep the 6-episode formula for Dead City and the Daryl Dixon series for both their second seasons? Seeing how, especially Dead City is a major hit on AMC+, do you think they're going to increase the number of episodes? Now, as for Dead City, I think that we will definitely still have more episodes. I think that, with AMC, this is usually what they do, and this is one thing I've kind of noticed with them, is that they always do their first seasons as 6 episodes. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're like Better Call Saul or something, usually AMC likes to try out 6 episodes for their first seasons to see if it's actually well liked, and if it's not, they won't go on. If it is, they usually increase the number of episodes and go on for a couple more seasons. But in terms of, Dead City, I could see it reaching from around 8 episodes to 10 episodes, although I don't think we're going to go past 10 episodes. I don't. Because the cast of Dead City, you got to keep in mind, is so small compared to, the original Walking Dead, that they're not going to be able to fill in 16 episodes per season with these 2 actors. I mean, it would literally tire Jeffrey and Lauren out. I mean, it really would. So, and, they're getting older. You know what I mean? Like, they're all getting older. So, it definitely, doing 16 episodes with them having to be at the forefront all the frickin' time, like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. But I would say 8 to 10 episodes, I think would be a good increasement. And I also think that's the same thing with Daryl Show. I think Daryl Show season 2 right now, obviously they had to pause filming at the moment, but I think that show is doing 8 to 10 episodes for a second season as well. I don't see them getting past 10 episodes. For like a spin-off of like 1 or 2 Walking Dead characters with a bunch of new ones involved, no. I think 10 episodes maximum. It's the most you could do. Aside from that, you're just milking it at that point, you know what I mean? And you're also decreasing the budget, because the more episodes you do, the less budget you're going to have for each individual episode. And I don't think they want to sacrifice that in a show like the France show or in a show like the New York show, They're going to want to keep those visuals and that aesthetic, good enough, right? So I don't think they're going to want to mess that up necessarily. And then finally, we got 2 from Joshua, who says, Dan, first of all, I've heard rumors of Rick's brother potentially being in the Daryl Dixon series, Jeffrey Grimes. Could you give your thoughts on that? Also, are you going to continue to do Q&A videos every week for The Walking Dead, Dead City, etc., etc.? So, obviously, I will say that for the Q&As, I will continue to do them every week, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video. That's actually kind of why I mentioned it, is because of your question. Yes, we will do Q&As, but they're going to be Walking Dead universe covered. They're not just going to be Dead City anymore. They're going to be for any show for the Walking Dead universe that you guys want to talk about. It doesn't matter what show. You can leave a question for any one of these upcoming series, or just anything really, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. We'll answer them every week, right? Now, in terms of Jeffrey Grimes being in the Daryl show, I'm honestly really getting lost on that theory. theory. I'm really getting all lost on that theory. I mean, we've had theories about Jeffrey Grimes for years, you know, and could he be in Europe? I mean, I guess he could be, but we've never had a mention of Rick's brother in the TV show universe. At least I don't think so, based off of, you know, recent memory. Somebody can correct me in the comments if you guys remember, you know, ever having a scene where Rick mentions his brother, because I do not remember that at all. You know what I mean? I think Jeffrey Grimes is a lost cause story. I really do. I think that Jeffrey Grimes, if they were gonna do it, it would be in the Rick and Michonne series. You know what I mean? Because that's what's right. You know. But for it to be in, like, you know, Daryl Dixon all the way out in France, I mean, I wouldn't hate it, but I'd be like, okay, that's the most random thing in the world. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not on board with that. Like, I know a lot of people were asking me, like, Dan, you should do a video on Jeffrey Grimes and Daryl Shaw. I'm like, where'd this come from? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I find that kind of weird. Like, Jeffrey Grimes just happens to be everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, everybody theorizes about it. So not to burst your guys' bubble on Jeffrey Grimes, but I don't see the point. In Daryl's show, I really don't see the point. In Rick and Michonne series, I think that'd be awesome. But in the Daryl show, I'd be like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be like, all right, I mean, I guess. But, you know, it'd be kind of one of those reactions. I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's interesting, I guess, you know? But if they were going to do it, they should have set it up with Rick. You know, he should have talked about his brother a little bit, mentioned that he had a brother, so that when we see him, if we ever did see him, which I don't think we are, but if we ever did see him, it'd be like, oh, that's the guy Rick was talking about. Ah, that's why that scene happened, you know? I like storytelling where you set things up before doing it, and in my opinion, Walking Dead did not do that with Jeffrey Grimes. So, yeah. But anyway, let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think of the Walking Dead universe going on right now? What do you think of Comic-Con? What do you think of the Walking Dead Rick and Michonne stuff? Do you think that their reunion, Rick and Michonne, are going to be, you know, quickly in that show in the first episode or two? Or do you think it's going to be a little later? Let me know. But, yeah, thank you all so much for your participation and your Q&A comments. We'll do another one next week, so be sure to leave some comments down below. And that's it for this video, guys. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos of the Walking Dead universe. Make sure to follow me at Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, I will see you guys really soon for more videos of the Walking Dead universe. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.